Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to be here with you all because, yes, the biggest night in Hollywood just happened. The Oscars, the 2021 Academy Awards, has happened, and here we are. I'm here to make this video for you all, and we're going to be reacting, talking about, and just everything that happened. Per usual, every year the Oscars is filled with so many memorable moments, some good, some bad, and there was a lot of bad in the show, and we're going to obviously get to that very controversial ending. We're going to get to that towards the end of this video. Oh my goodness, can't believe that what happened. But yeah, let's get right into it. Of course, you know, the Oscars is something that I look forward to every year because I love the art of filmmaking. I love film, and I'm sure you are if you're watching this video right now. And I just love seeing, you know, the wide variety of awards being recognized, whether it's acting, directing, editing, sound, music, everything. It just really shows how much talented minds it takes and how many different talents it takes to make a movie. And so the Oscars is about highlighting the biggest achievements in film of this year, and so I always look forward to seeing those people, those nominees recognized. So let's get right into it. You know, obviously the big winner tonight is Nomadland. We're going to get to some of the awards specifically in a little bit, but first I just want to talk about the show in general, some of the things I liked and didn't like. One of the things I didn't like about the show, honestly, was one, the lack of music performances. I don't know why they took out those performances, honestly. The lack of music performances, of course, for Best Original Song. I feel like that adds kind of a concert feel, a Grammys vibe to the show. I think it's really good to see some powerful performances for some of the biggest people in music because I don't know, because when you don't have the music, it's just people talking in the speeches. And yeah, some of the speeches are funny and emotional, but when you have that, you know, when you don't have the music, it kind of makes the award feel like a bit of a drag at times, and that's what it kind of felt like. And so, they did it before. I was watching the red carpet, and they showed the pre-recorded performances of the nominees, but I thought like, oh, they're gonna perform them during the show too. That didn't happen, so I don't know why they did that. And another thing is, I don't know why they took out the clips. Why in the hell would you take out the clips from the movies? They did in some of the awards. I can't remember specifically what it was, but you know, for pretty most of the awards, whether it's Best Picture, sound editing or whatever, acting, all that, there's always a 20 to 30-second clip from the movie, and I think that those clips are very necessary because besides just seeing the nominees and hearing the names be called and the awards being won, when you have that tangible footage from the film, I think that one thing I love about the Oscars is that the Oscars is a big promotional piece for all these movies. What I mean by that is because, let's be honest with ourselves, you know, 90% of the movies nominated, you know, they're not your typical big blockbuster, you know, breaking the bank kind of movies that everybody's just seeing all over the world and all over the country. So I think that when you watch the Oscars and you see it, you know, let's take an example. Look at last year, the big winner, Parasite. After the Oscars, people went out and rushed out to see the movies and to see that movie and stream it, and it took on a life of its own. And I'm not saying that's not going to happen here without the clips, but what I'm saying is I think that's kind of necessary for audience to have that, to see that footage from the film, as well as the nominees being, you know, the awards being won and hearing the speeches. And I don't know, like, you know, if it's the Oscars and we're talking about all these movies and you're limiting down seeing the short clips of the movies, it's like, then what are we doing? It makes the show feel like more of a drag because they replace the clips with like telling the nominees stories of like how they got into the business and how they like fell in love with film and all that. And I get that. That's really nice to hear. But I think in terms of just a production value of the show and trying to make the show as entertaining as possible, I don't think that was the right way of going about doing it. It just, like I said, it's just a lot of talking added on with some of the long speeches. So I think for audience out there, they kind of found it to be a little bit of a drag. And I found myself doing that too. I miss seeing the clips. I didn't know I loved the clips so much because when they took it away, I was like, wow, this really needed clips. So there was that. So let's get things I didn't like about that, but I really like seeing Questlove on the DJ. I love seeing that he played the tunes, and I think he was he kind of was like a little bit of the host, low-key, because the show, and I don't really mind the lack of the host. It was fine last year, but you know, Questlove I thought really did a good job, so that's one thing that I did love about the show. And yeah, And let's get into some of these awards. We're going to be highlighting some of the awards specifically. Obviously, like I said, Nomadland was the big winner for Best Picture. Took home 3 awards: Best Picture, Best Directing, and Best Actress, and of course Best Director for Chloe. Her being the first woman of color to win Best Director, and so well deserved. And another thing I want to add is that I really love seeing a lot of the diversity in the Oscars this year. It really was a very there was a lot of diverse winners in the awards, and like I said, so well deserved, and kind of highlighted by Chloe winning for Best Director. And like I said, Nomadland was the big winner of the night, only taking home 3 awards. But that's kind of the one thing that I liked, is kind of the love was really spread all the way around. Everybody kind of got some love. Nomadland won 3, Judas and the Black Messiah won 2, Minari won 1, Promising Young Woman won 1. My personal favorite of the year, Mank, won 2 awards. Sound of Metal won 2. Everybody kind of won, and for so well deserved. Like I said, whether you're talking about Mank, cinematography, Promising Young Woman, that was a badass screenplay. Sound of Metal, I thought those were the 2 biggest locks of the night, honestly, from best sound and best editing. So much props to all these films. I love seeing all these films because I really enjoyed all of them for different reasons. I would say at the end of the day, if I had to pick my personal favorites for the awards, or what I thought was gonna win, or if it was up to me, I would have had probably either Mank or Nomadland. Minari winning. Those were my 2 favorites of the year. But Nomadland was great, and like I said, so it's not like really anybody went home empty-handed. Everybody got some love, so I love seeing that. And like I said, shout out to Nomadland, the big winner of the night. And you know what? Let's get right into it. Let's get right into that ending. Why waste any more time? That's what's on everybody's minds, right? Let's get right into it. Okay, so here's how it happened. So I'm watching the show, right? And they're all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're talking. They're saying the Best Picture nominees. I think I was like on my phone or whatever, and I look up. I'm like, oh shit, it's Best Picture already. And I'm thinking like, this is the last award of the night. I'm like, and then quickly, this is how I'm reacting in real time. I'm like, wait, did they do the acting categories? Best Actor, Best Actress? I'm like, no, they didn't. And right then and there, it hit me. And a split second, I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. They're going to do the acting categories last, and they're going to do Best Actor last. And they're going to honor, and they're going to close the show with Chadwick Boseman winning for Best Actor. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's fine, and I was like, okay, I'm all up for it. They set it up perfectly at that point, so I'm like, okay, this is exactly how the show's gonna go. So I'm watching it, Nomadland wins, Frances McDormand wins for Best Actress, and out comes Joaquin Phoenix. He's reading the nominees of Best Actor, and it's like everyone's expecting Chadwick Boseman, and then boom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, and it's just like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped. And here's the thing I want to say. A lot of people were complaining about it because they felt like Chadwick Boseman either, obviously rightfully deserved the award, or they felt that it was just the right moment to honor him, and give him the award because, Anthony Hopkins has always won his Oscar. And, so people were super pissed about that for many different reasons. This was a huge mess up because they set it up, and then for it to not happen like that. And the biggest reason of all, what really blew me away, was that freaking Anthony Hopkins wasn't even there. They were like, okay, Joaquin's like, Anthony Hopkins wins. And then the show just freaking ends. Questlove is like, all right, peace out, y'all, we're done. And I'm like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it, dude. I couldn't believe it. This ending might have been more controversial than the La La Land thing, because what's crazy about it is that was just a mistake what happened a few years ago. This was like designed. The producers of the show said they obviously believed that Chadwick Boseman was going to win, and they were like, okay, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to close the show out with Chadwick Boseman winning. It's going to be just, everyone's going to be super emotional, and then boom, show's over. That didn't happen, dude. They booked themselves. They overbooked themselves. They shot themselves in the foot, and they made a huge, colossal mistake, and just a huge blow to the Oscars. Just a dud way to end an already controversial and kind of meh show. So I couldn't believe they did that, man. And okay, so speaking for me specifically, I can't really give my opinion on who I thought should have won or didn't, because to be honest with you, I try to watch as many of these films as possible, but like probably only 2 major films that I didn't see were the one that Chadwick Boseman was nominated for, and The Father. I missed The Father. I didn't see it. So I can't really give my opinion on like, oh, like it's bullcrap. I don't think Anthony should have won, Chadwick should have won. I personally can't say that. But what I can say is that, you know, it was kind of it's just a dud. I can't, it's just, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It's just an unfortunate way. And like I said, the fact that he wasn't even there, not even a pre-recorded speech or anything like that, which is just absolutely terrible, dude. And it's just such a disappointment, because like I said, the Oscars every year is so controversial with you know, the mistakes they make and how they produce the show. And every year they're always trying to find the right formula, and they can't seem to find the right formula to make the show the best way possible. And for this year to end like that, it's just huge mistake, man. And it's just I can't believe it. So that was one of the craziest moments I've ever seen in the Oscars. It might be the most craziest moment in obviously recent memory. So there it is, there you have it. That's the Oscars. You know, like I said, it's controversy as always. Will they ever get it right? Who knows? But thank you so much for watching this video. I want to know your guys' thoughts. If you're new to this channel, please leave your comments. Please like the video if you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I invite you all. I'm going to be reviewing movies, talking about all these kinds of things, and you know, just I invite you all to come along for the ride. So please consider subscribing to the channel, and thank you so much for watching, and really is a pleasure. Thank you so much.